Hello and happy Mobility Sunday. I'm so excited to see some new faces here. And if you're watching this later, hello and welcome to the later recording. Today, we're going to have more of an emphasis on shoulders and spine. There's definitely going to be some hips still, so get excited. As always, if anything doesn't feel good in your body, skip it. You can always take child pose. You can always stretch gently with something that feels good. So listen to your body first and foremost. We are going to be in a seated position on our butt for a while. So if you want to have like a block or a pillow nearby to pop underneath your hips, if you know that's something that sort of gets into your low back, that's a nice prop to have nearby. That'll be sort of in the second half of our flow. But without further ado, let's go ahead and make it to our mats. We're going to start in a child's pose. So toes together, knees wide, arms stretching out, just taking a couple moments to arrive here. So really thinking of stretching the fingers towards the top of your mat, thinking of sinking the hips down towards your heels, letting that forehead come to rest. Maybe rocking the forehead side to side, just a little, waking up through that third eye space. Beautiful. And then just closing the eyes and really tuning into that breath. So big belly breath in, fill the belly with air between the legs. Open mouth, let it go. We're going to be here for just over a minute, really letting that breath sink in. Big, full breath. Exhale, letting it go. As you move through these rounds of breathing, keep thinking of the length from the fingertips down to the hips. So the hips keep getting softer into the heels. The fingertips are actively stretching away. Maybe you start to feel the breath fill the belly, then fill the rib cage, expanding into the outside of the lungs. And then exhale everything out of the body. Good. Just letting yourself surrender into this posture. You can always pop a block underneath the belly, underneath the head if this feels good. On your next inhale, stretch the fingertips forward and then start to walk your hands over to the left. So we're going to stack right hand on top of left hand, both towards the outside of the left side of that mat, and then really anchor down through your right hip. So we're taking that big breath into the belly and then keep breathing. Really feel the expansion through the rib cage on that right side. So feeling all the muscles of the ribs, those intercostals start to expand, and then let it go. Think almost actively stretching with your right armpit, almost like you're trying to press gently towards the right side of your mat. So we're really finding an opening on the right side of the body. Big breath in. Exhale. Good. Next inhale, we're going to walk the fingers over to the right. Do the same thing with the left side rib cage. So left hand stacks on top. We can always take a bend in the arm as if this doesn't feel great for any reason. Think of anchoring left hip down, big breath into the belly. And then keep breathing in, fill that left side of the rib cage. Feel each of the ribs find a little bit of space, almost up to that armpit area, and then exhale, let it go. Again, filling the belly with air, filling each and every ribs, getting into the side of that lung, pressing the right or left armpit up towards the left side of the mat and softening. One more big breath in, then exhale, bring it back to child's pose. You're welcome to stay here, or if you'd like to get a little deeper into the chest and triceps, we'll go forehead down, bring the hands into prayer, walk the elbows forward slightly, and then just tuck the thumbs behind the crook of the neck. So we're just taking prayer pose into the base of the neck, just starting to feel that stretch through the back of the arms, through the chest. You can see what happens if you move the elbows forward a little, try to sink your chest down. Taking a few breaths into the space here, feeling the stretch in the armpits, top of the chest, those triceps. Good. Taking one more nice big breath here. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, start to shift it into your tabletop. As always, think nice active hands so we're not collapsing into that wrist joint. We can always bring it to blocks that feels better on our hands. Maybe make fists if it doesn't feel good on our wrist, but then gripping through the floor, a little cat cow. Inhale, lift the heart, tip the tailbone up. Exhale, scoop the tailbone under, one vertebra at a time, articulating through that spine. Hands and knees pull apart energetically. Inhale, hips start to lift, spread the glutes, dropping the vertebra, one belly, one vertebra at a time. Shoulders roll back, creating space in the chest. And exhale, scooping it through. Good. We're going to make a circle here. So from your cat position with your back arched, we're going to start to circle our ribs over to the left side of our mat. Our hip and our shoulder are going to come to connect on the right side. And then we're going to start to arch our way into cow as we drop our belly under and through. Then as we sweep up from our cow, I'm circling my ribs over to the right, which means that my shoulders and hips are arching to the left. And I come up and through my cat. Play around with this. I'm sending my ribs over to the left, arm or shoulder and hips to the right. And then I come under through that cow pose. Over, ribs get sent to the right, creating that C in my torso, starting to find the circle in my spine. Let's go one more in this direction, really getting full range of motion in that spine for this 360 world we live in. Next time you're in cat, pause, take a big breath into the back. Let's go other direction. Exhale, we send our ribs to the right. Inhale as we transfer through cow, shoulders down the back, keep hitting each posture fully. Ribs going around to the left, arching through cat, then we send the ribs to the right. Coming through cow, shoulders down the back, ribs go over to the left, up and through, beautiful. One more time. All the way up and through, find that cat, and then go ahead and push it back into child's pose. Just take a breath. Arms can go long, arms can stay underneath the face. Just a little stretch in that low back. Big breath in. Good. Exhale, coming back through that tabletop. Again, really anchoring down through the hands. I'm going to shoulder slide down my back here. Or I'm going to send the shoulders down the back. I'm going to stay really anchored into my left arm, but I'm going to try not to collapse into it. So really think of the ribs pulling up and away from the floor. I'm going to stretch my right arm out to the front, keeping my hips down. I'm going to trace my fingertips up and back towards my hip, making a circle with my arms. They come up to the front, up and back to my hip. Range of motion is going to look different on everybody. The goal here is to keep your body perfectly still except for that arm. Now we're going to go opposite direction. I stretch back to my hip, coming up and around past my ear. Can we imagine that we've got a dish balancing on our back? So I'm not opening up at my chest, not opening up at my ribs. I'm keeping it nice and flat. One more right here. Good. And then we are going to stretch that right arm up. So now we're in that twist. Belly button is still tight, rotating up through my chest, little circles through that wrist. I like to think of pulling away from my left hand so I'm not collapsing. Other direction here. Big inhale, big stretch, and then exhale. Take that right arm through into a thread the needle. Right shoulder down, right ear down. Plug that left hip back. Couple rounds of breath here, getting into the shoulder, getting into this twist, not forcing it. If you feel like you'd like a little bit more from this shape, you can walk the left arm forward or take it into a bind. Again, absolutely not necessary. I'm going to stick with just the foundation today. Big breath in. Exhale, soften. One more big breath in. And plant that left hand down. Open back up through that right arm. Little shaky, shaky, shaky. Good. Sit back on the heels. Shake out the wrist just a little bit. Make little like hang 10. And then just shake out the wrist. Good. Nicely done. We're going to do that one more time on the other side. So coming on into that tabletop position. We're going to start with our circles. Remember, nothing in our spine is moving. I'm stretching my left arm up, past my ear, bringing it around to my hips and through. Reaching in front of me, up and around to my hips. Letting my range of motion be whatever it is this morning. Maybe closing your eyes and noticing how it's different than the other arm. Keeping that nice length in the right arm. Let's go other direction. We stretch back towards the hips. Up and around. Left side is where I had my rotator cuff injury. So that one is still rehabbing back into full range of motion. So for me, it's a little stickier. Good. One more. And now we're going to take that left arm up to the sky. Really think of almost lifting off that right hand. Big stretch into the chest. Squeeze the glutes. Button those hip bones up together in front of your body like you're doing a dead bug. Little circles through the wrist. Beautiful. Other direction. One more big inhale, stretch, and then exhale, threading the needle, bringing it underneath the body. Good. Left ear, left shoulder down. Eyes can go up and over that right shoulder. Think of plugging the right hip bone back for maximum stretch. As always, fingertips can walk forward, or we can take a bind behind our back. Again, I'm just going to opt for foundation today. Keep feeling the belly expand and contract with every breath. Close the eyes and feel the shoulder blade find that space away from the spine. Just getting nice and gentle. If we have tight traps, we might feel it all the way into the side of the or the top of the shoulder, maybe even up into the scalenes, the neck muscles. One more big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Nicely done. Coming on out, stretching your left arm up to the sky and back to your tabletop. Walk it back into that kneel if that feels okay. Think of sitting up and squeezing the glutes under. Maybe take a little space in the knees. We're just going to do a quad stretch. So squeeze the butt like crazy. Core is super duper tight. If this is enough, you're already feeling a stretch in the top of the legs, stay there. Otherwise, keeping that core locked in like you're pushing your ribs into the top of your pants, start to walk the hands back. Give me a little lift, squeeze the butt, tip it under so that we're keeping the low back safe. So if you're feeling the stretch in the low back, get out of there. We want to feel it in the top of those quads. Big breath in. Keep squeezing the glutes to stretch the quads. Again, this is a reminder, if any shape doesn't feel good in your body, skip it, my friend. And come on up. Knees together. If this feels okay, stay there. Otherwise, go ahead and find child's pose. We're going to take the hands behind our back and we're going to clasp them fully. So I'm going to press the heels of my hand together, fold my shoulders back. I'm finding a nice chest opener here. What's going to want to happen is that the heart's going to want to pop out. Think of threading the rib cage shut. For a lot of us, this is great. We're feeling our stretch. If you'd like to take it a little deeper and you have control of this shape, we can start to bring it forward into that child's pose. Again, this is not available to everyone, so keeping in that seated position. Once the forehead is down, you can think of stretching the knuckles to the sky. We never want to put our shoulders in compromised position, so instead of thinking of bringing the shoulders over my head, I'm thinking of knuckles reaching towards the back corner of the room. Big breath in here. Exhale, release the arms to the floor. If you're there, if you're still in seated, just release the arms. Beautiful. Big breath in. And if you're not in that seat, make your way there. Let's go ahead, shift onto our bum. This is where if you have a block or a pillow, you might want to pop it underneath your butt. Send the legs out just for a second. Let's shake it out. Let's do a counter stretch here. So flex the feet, big bend in the knees, sit up nice and tall, start to walk forward. I like to move my sits bones out from under me just a little bit, and I bring it forward into my hamstring stretch. Toes are up. Try not to turn them out towards the wall. Think heels in line with those hips, so we're not too narrow, not too wide. Big breath into the belly. No forcing here. Exhale, soften. Big breath in. And exhale, soften, rolling it up one vertebra at a time. So on that block, if we want it, we're going to come into a cross-legged position of your choice. If that doesn't feel good, you can always take it into a straddle pose. Cross-legged just helps personally me anchor down a little bit. So I'm going to find shifting my sits bones. And we're going to take a couple cat-cows from here. So I'm going to pop my hands on my thighs. I'm going to inhale, lift my heart up. So I'm not crunching back. I'm lifting my heart up, shoulders on the back. And then I'm going to exhale. I'm going to round my spine, tuck my chin into the chest, lean back into my sits bones. Inhale, roll my shoulders back. Come on up and through, lift the heart. And exhale, round through the spine. Beautiful. So just a little different articulation as we move in a different relationship to gravity. Good. Last time here in this cat. And now we're going to go for those circles again. So I'm going to start by finding my cow pose, sticking my heart out. I'm going to start to shift my ribs over to the right, circling around into my cat, and then over to my left. I'm staying anchored in my hips, back to cow. Ribs come around to the right, circling into my cat, over to the left, anchoring to my hips so I'm not lifting, and to the right. Top. Let's go other direction. Ribs to the left, chin tucks as I circle around to my cat. Again, a range of motion that works for you here. One more here. Keeping the sits bones down again, just getting into that spinal mobility, cutting it if it doesn't feel good, and arriving in that seat. Good. Anchoring the hips, we're just going to take little side to side with our rib cage. So we're just shifting side to side, side to side, finding a little bit of mobility in the top of the hips. Maybe we take it a little bit wavier, whatever feels good here, gentle. This one feels really nice in the obliques. If this feels good, we can move it forward, walking the hands forward, keeping your butt down. And we can walk it back. Gives a nice little gentle stretch in that low back. If it doesn't feel good, skip it. One more time if you're walking it forward. Keep thinking of the hip bones pulling together in front of your body so that you're keeping the core nice and tight. And then find that seated stacked position. Good. Think nice and tall. Inhale, stretch, ribs pull in. Exhale, cactus the arms. Elbows pull down, shoulders slide down or back. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, we're going to take the right fingertips to the floor. Think of inhaling that left arm high. Exhaling, stretching up and over. So instead of collapsing into this right away, I want you to think of starting by pressing that left rib cage, left armpit up into the sky, just like we did in our child's pose. Big breath into the ribs. Check and see if the shoulders have started to creep up into your ears. Drop them down the back. One more here. And now if you'd like to deepen the stretch, you can come down to the elbow if that's available. Otherwise, stay where you are and keep focusing on opening up the chest here. If it doesn't feel great to have the arm overhead, you can take the fingers to the shoulders as well. Big breath in. Exhale, start to gently pull the ribs in and frame that right leg, anchoring down through the left hip. We're just taking a little side bend, getting into the top of the hips here. Tuck the chin. Again, this does not have to be an aggressive stretch. Listen to your body. Big breath. And come on up. Nicely done. Inhale, arm stretch up. This time, exhale, left fingertips down, right arm stretches up and over. Starting here, remember, we're going to lift the right armpit up to the sky. Big breath in, feeling the space in the ribs. Make sure those shoulders are down and away from the ear. Another big breath, really press the rib cage into the sky, feeling the stretch in each of those ribs. And then if you'd like to deepen the stretch and it's in your practice, keep your right sits bone down. So I'm not going down and lifting off my hip. I'm anchoring so that I'm getting that full stretch up my side body. Again, it might be available on one side, but not on the other. We can always take that fingertip to shoulder, top of the shoulder. Big breath in. One more big breath here into that side body. And then we exhale and start to rotate however gently we need to get there, folding over that left knee. Again, whatever range of motion you have, I want you anchored through that right hip. If you need to, you can skip this altogether. Big breath in. Exhale out. Inhale. Exhale, start to walk it back up to center. Let's just take that side to side little reset here. Maybe a couple of those cat-cows, just giving yourself whatever you need in your spine. Good, and then we'll take the legs forward, we'll shake it out, and we'll go other leg on top here. Good, okay, from this position, we're gonna take a big breath in. Exhale, left hand on top of right thigh, right hand outside of that glute. We are gonna find a little twist. We're not pulling into our body, just a gentle twist, sitting up nice and tall. Big breath in. Exhale. One more big breath in. Keeping your left hand on your right thigh, start to rotate back. Take your right arm and stretch across so you're grabbing onto the left thigh, or you can move it to the shins if that feels good, or the toes. We're just gonna tuck our chin and tip back like we're doing that cow pose, or excuse me, that cat pose. Just getting into the tops of the shoulders, in between those shoulder blades. Take a big breath in here. Exhale. Keep the shoulders down, breathing into the shoulders to find space. And sit it up nicely down, little side to side. Good, start to walk it forward if you did that on the last side. Seeing how it feels different with the other leg on top. We'll go for 2 of those just as a little reset of the spine. Coming back up nicely down. Inhale, the arms go up. Exhale, right hand on left thigh, left hand outside of left sits bone. Sit up nice and tall, ribs plugged down so we're not flaring through the heart. Little twist, good. Sitting nice and tall, just rinsing through those ribs, rinsing through that spine. A lot of time things like low back pain, neck pain, knee pain actually start because we don't get as much mobility in that T-spine as it needs. So things like our neck and our shoulders and our hips have to take over some of that mobility, and they lock up in response. Big breath in. Exhale, start to rotate. Keep your right hand on your left thigh. Left hand comes across to the right thigh. Tuck the chin, lean back, take a couple of breaths into, again, you can move it to the front of the legs. It feels better. Big breath in. Let it go. One more big breath. And unwind. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the heart. Good. And drop those hands. Little shoulder rolls to the back. Good. Finding that nice range of motion here. One more. And then we'll go shoulder rolls to the front. And we're going to drop the chin. Let the right ear fall to the right shoulder. Try not to lift through that left side. From here, really gentle movement. Start to tip your chin down so the ear is still reaching for the shoulder. If you find particularly tight sensations in this posture with the chin slightly down, that generally means we have those tight scalenes. Big breath in. Exhale. Not forcing this, certainly not forcing the neck. Then gently start to rotate the chin up. The ear still reaches for the shoulders. If you find tension in this area, that's going to be the front of the neck. That's sternocleidomastoid. Big breath in. Bringing it back to neutral. Gently let the chin come through the center position and find that left ear, left shoulder. Taking your breath here, making sure that right shoulder is anchored down. We're not lifting up. Again, it doesn't matter to me how close your ear is to your neck. I just want you gentle with this motion. Chin tucks down. Seeing how we're feeling the scalenes on the right side of the body, taking some big full breaths. Again, we never want to take a stretch so deep that it's hard to breathe. Good. And gently tucking the chin, or rolling rather, up to the ceiling gently. Checking out the SCM on the right side. Big full breath, good, neutral. And let's just take a few gentle rolls side to side. Not rushing, let it feel really nice, stopping if you need it. And back to center, roll it up, good, shake it out, check it out. Okay, team, we are gonna take our fingers to the mat, find a tabletop, walk your fingers a little bit forward, grip those hands nice and actively, lift the knees. We're finding a down dog. Shoulders slide down the back. With this down dog, I want you to really think of pressing one armpit down and then the other. Just continuing to think of leading with the armpit today. You can still bend the legs a little. We're not here long today. We're just getting in a little bit of that back line. Think inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, drop the heels. Inhale, lift. Press the chest. In, exhale, drop. One more big inhale, lift. Exhale, hands and toesies come together. Big forward fold. Tuck the chin, little ragdoll. Sway side to side here. Big bend in the legs, letting this feel really nice. Whatever your body needs. And then releasing the hands. Roll it up one vertebra at the time. Squeeze the butt. Nicely done. Coming up to the top of the mat. We're going to stretch the arms up. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. Open the heart into that cactus. Inhale, stretch. I'm going to keep my hips straight forward. I'm going to take my left arm and I'm going to sweep it back as my right arm stretches forward. So my left hip bone is pushing forward. I'm getting a twist in the chest, opening up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, left arm sweeps back, left glute squeezes forward, and again, inhale up. Exhale, back, last time. Beautiful big stretch in the chest. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, little forward fold. Slight bend in the knees, coming on down. Inhale, halfway lift, shifting to the toes. Coming up, nice flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, coming up one vertebra at a time. Exhale, find that cow, or excuse me, that cactus, lifting the heart up so we're not collapsing in the back. Inhale, stretch. This time, as I exhale, my right arm sweeps back, left arm forward, and I'm going to squeeze my right butt cheek forward so my hips are still straight on. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, open up to that T-stretch. Inhale, back up. Exhale, opening up, opening up, opening up. Beautiful. One last big breath. Inhale, stretch. Little bend in the knees, send the hips back, forward, fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften. Inhale, rolling it up one vertebra at a time. Exhale, cactus pose. Inhale, stretch the arms up and then bring them down to your sides. Shoulders roll up, back and down. We'll finish in Tadasana, anchoring through the feet. Lift all the toes up and then set them down one at a time, really finding that grounding sensation. Again, lifting the toes up. So now pinky toe all the way to big toe. Closing down the eyes, making sure those shoulders are back, palms are forward. Take a big breath in, stand a little taller. And let it out the mouth. Beautiful work today, everyone. Give yourself a little shake out. That was all sorts of crazy upper body stretching, and you did amazing. Have a fabulous rest of your day. Mwah.